Okay, we will call the meeting to order, the Town of Lake Clark Shores Code Enforcement Board hearing, June 28th, 6:30 PM. Emily, could you please call the roll?
Chair Paul Hughes,
Present.
Vice Chair Gerard Sanchez, Board Member Ariel Hernandez, Board Member Deb Moody. Here. Board Member Wesley Cook.
Here.
Board Member Nicholas Spinelli.
Present.
Okay, so we have 4 members present. We have a quorum. Next item would be the Pledge of Allegiance. Could you please stand? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Is there a motion to approve the agenda? Is
So moved.
there a second?
So moved.
Next item of business is
Is it approved? You need to do a vote.
all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you.
The agenda has been approved. Consent agenda includes the approval of the minutes of the May 24th meeting, unfinished cases now in compliance, and new cases in compliance. Are there any changes to the minutes from any of the board members? If not,
No, I didn't notice.
Eric, any unfinished cases now in compliance?
Yes, sir. So on page 1, property 1422 Keller Road, case number 23-0041 is now in compliance. On page 2, case 23-0042 is now in compliance. Case 23-0043 is now in compliance. Case 23-0044 is now in compliance. And case number 23-00445 is now in compliance. On page 3, property 1831 East Port, case number 23-0239 is in compliance. As for the new cases, do you want me to state which ones are in compliance for those as well, sir?
Yeah.
Okay. On page number 4, at the bottom of the page, address 1920 Barbados Road, case number 23-0574 is in compliance. On page number 5, property 7501 Pine Tree Lane, case 23-0193 is in full compliance. At the bottom of the page, second to the bottom, property address 1810 Antigua Road, case number 23-0330 is now in compliance. And that concludes all the properties that are in compliance.
Eric, could you repeat the one that was on page 4?
Page 4? Yes, sir.
Bottom, I think, or somewhere around there.
Yeah, so on page 4, it'll be at the bottom, property 1920 Barbados Road.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Is there a motion to approve the consent agenda?
So moved.
Second.
Motion's been moved in second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carried. Next item is disclosure of visits. Any of the members that have spoken with any of the property owners to come before us tonight or gone by the properties or have firsthand knowledge of the properties, if you would please disclose that at the time the case is brought before us. Anyone in here tonight that's going to speak before the board, if you would please stand and be sworn in by the town's attorney.
Do you swear or affirm the testimony you'll give me the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth?
I do.
Thank you.
Thank you. So under unfinished cases, even though the property of Mr. Barlow is in compliance, I think we had imposed a $50 a day fine. I guess that would be fine now since he's, because it said impose a fine of $50 until compliance is achieved. And that occurred, compliance was achieved
4/26.
all these different dates, Eric.
Yes, yes, it was.
Okay. Okay.
And you can also look at the spreadsheet that shows you the total fine for each case.
Right. So where we are is we have the option to impose a lien, the full amount, or recommend a lien. But let me finish there. Reduce the fine or dismiss it. I believe that's correct, isn't it? Where we are.
Yes, correct.
Was it noticed though for fine assessment
You mean for lien?
or lien?
Yes. Mhm.
Okay. Yeah, that would be your options to impose or reduce or eliminate, I guess, if you wanted to.
We've already imposed them, though.
Right.
Okay.
So what's your wishes, members? Would you like to hear from them?
Is he here? Is this
Property
Mr. Barlow here? I guess we should probably hear from him.
Is it Mrs. Barlow, Ms. Barlow?
Yes.
Okay. Would you like to introduce yourself?
My name is Lori Radcliffe. I'm a resident of Barlow.
Okay,
And this is,
I'm Jesus, the general contractor. I
okay,
was here at the previous meeting, basically.
okay.
so he could not be here today. He had other business and tried to get back.
Okay,
So we would ask that we worked as diligently as we could to get it completed, which we have. Did have a few obstacles along the way, but we would ask that it be reduced as much as possible. And it's drawn out the process much longer and we would. These assets.
okay. Any recommendations? So the total fines as of today, Emily?
So for this case, it's $1,850.
Is this through today?
Yes,
Okay,
yes.
so we'll discuss all the cases. We'll discuss them all over the time if that's okay. And then-
Yeah, in total, it's 15,350.
And then
Yeah.
we'll vote on them separately.
Was Mr. Barlow at the March code enforcement hearing?
He was, I believe. He wasn't.
Um,
Records. He was not at the last one. He was out of town for that one.
How about $1,000 per infraction for a total of 5,000?
Is that a motion?
Well, I was just putting it out there for discussion.
Well,
Okay,
the thing to do would make a motion and then we can discuss it.
okay. I propose assessing $1,000 per, right? Because we've got 5.
Reducing all the case fines to $1,000 each. Is that what you're saying?
Mm-hmm. Bringing down from 15,000 to 5,000.
Is there a second? No second?
I would say,
You can second it, but still have discussion.
Mm-hmm.
okay, I second it.
Okay. Been moved and seconded to reduce the fines of each one of these cases down to $1,000 apiece, totaling $5,000. Now, discussion.
I have a couple, is this a contractor
Yes.
here? What took so long to get this stuff done? I mean, all these things were violated on February of 2023. The last one wasn't completed until June. That's 4 months.
Correct.
So- Go ahead, sorry.
On the time we had to get the plans approved and all that stuff, so and then with the process through over here, so it took at least like a month or 2 months just to get the permits approved to the city. They had some, on the plans, they have some corrections that we had to do, so that's why it took a long time. And we started working, I believe, on March or April, when we came over here for the last meeting, the same day they were approved, we started working after that.
And
Is-
this, oh, sorry. go
Sorry,
ahead.
go ahead.
And this is this, if I remember correctly, this is the one where you put the driveway over the water meter, is that right?
Yes, the previous contractor, they were working on this property and they didn't have no knowledge that they had to pull permits because they, I believe Mr. Chris came from up north. So he didn't think that he had to pull permits. So when they hired me, I came on board and, we corrected all of the violations that they had.
So you're not the contractor that was found in violation?
Oh, no.
You came after the
No,
fact.
I came after the fact and we tried to do it as fast as we can. The plans took quite a bit to get them approved. We had to get the electrical, plumbing, structural, so, that's.
Right. It wasn't, looks like it was an extensive renovation done without permits.
Correct.
We also had some delays in we had to bring the permit got out to sign off a couple of times, and we found a few things, so that delayed it a couple of weeks to have to go and fix some of those things. We also had our electrician fell ill during the time, so we were kind of scrambling to work around his downtime as well.
And we had on some of them, because it was done after the fact, we had to hire the engineer to do the engineer letters. Because, the rough, we didn't have rough, and, for plumbing, electrical, so all of that, we had to hire the engineer. So that took a couple of, weeks to get him out of there.
Eric, you have anything on this?
I would say, based on my previous experience working in other municipalities for residential, usually the reduction amount can go up to 90%. Obviously, that's your guys' discretion. Most magistrates would usually reduce it down by 90%, seeing as they have come into compliance. Mr. Attorney, what do you think in this matter? Do you agree that for residential, up to a 90% reduction could be applied?
Well, it could be, but it's all depends on the case. I think the severity of the offense and the nature of everything. So it's up to your discretion. I mean, they can be reduced by 90, they can be forgiven, it's all up to you.
Well, I'll make a motion that
We
we,
have a motion on the floor. Do you want to amend it? It's
I did-
$1,000
oh,
per case.
yeah, I would amend it to $2,000 a case.
So the motion before us right now is to amend the main motion from $1,000 to $2,000.
Two of them are 1850, so that would be an increase.
Right?
Yes.
You're actually. You're right.
Yeah.
All right, okay.
I would add, being in the industry, you guys actually did a pretty good job,
Mm-hmm.
finishing up in the time you did.
So let me amend that to 9,700 total. That would be 1850, and 2,000 for the last three.
I see, okay. So we need a,
I would personally add, I think even the 5,000 is a little much from what I've seen, but personally,
I mean, we've incurred a lot, probably 40 or 50,000 more in expenses from the delay. We've had to pay 2 mortgages that we weren't planning on paying for an additional 3 or 4 months. This took the extra cost of the engineers and things that we weren't expecting.
I guess my problem is the process was not, whether it was this gentleman or your other contractor. We have a process in town, which I'm somewhat aware of, and you've got to follow that process.
We acknowledge that we did that, and that, we do feel that we've been penalized. We tried to be as compliant as we could, as quickly as we could. And unfortunately, it took the extra 3 months to do.
what do you recommend?
can I ask, you had another contractor involved?
We did.
Was he licensed in the state of Florida?
I don't believe it.
Okay.
Which is why we hired him. We thought he was, but we found out that he was not.
What would you recommend?
Is there any legal action? Well, that's something separate.
Yeah, that's separate. excuse me, Wes, what were the first two? You reduced it to what, the first two?
1850 each.
Oh, 1850, okay.
Yeah.
All right, so now what we have is a motion to amend the first two cases to continue at 1850 and the last three to $2,000 each. Now, there's no second yet.
I'll second that.
Second,
I'll second that.
motion's been moved and seconded. So now we're going to go into discussion on the amendment. Okay? So, Wes, you want to speak to it?
Well, I think I've said what I,
Okay?
well, all I can say some more, of course, but I think that's all I need to say
Okay.
is, the violations. And we have people that are doing renovations without building permits throughout the town. And I think that we should hold a firm line as to what this is, so other people might understand that that can't be done.
And I totally agree with you. And I think a $5,000 fine is suitable.
So you're speaking against the motion to amend.
Yes.
Any further discussion on the motion to amend? Are you ready to vote on the motion to amend? All those in favor of the motion to amend, say aye.
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 2. I vote no. Okay, so the motion fails. So we're back to the main motion, which is $1,000 per case. Any further discussion on that? You ready to vote?
Mm-hmm.
All those in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay, motion carries. Now, what we're going to do is go through each case separately, okay? If someone would like to make a motion on each case, I think Ariel probably would.
Mhm.
She did that.
Mm-hmm.
Starting with case 230041.
Mm-hmm.
So you would make a motion to reduce the fine.
Oh, reducing this.
I think it's number 8.
Thank you.
Sorry, I just want to specify that the first two cases, you're not reducing the fines. Oh, no, sorry, it's $1,000, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. All right, in case number 23-0041, based on the testimony and evidence presented in that case, I move that the board reduce the fine of $1,850 to $1,000 plus administrative cost if the respondents fail to pay the fine of $1,000 within 30 days of this order. A lien against the respondent's property shall be recorded in the public records of Palm Beach County.
The administrative costs.
It's in the script.
How we doing? How we doing with administrative costs? Is that a specific amount?
It doesn't say on the,
Well,
It doesn't say.
yeah.
Yeah, really, the only thing that should be taxed as a cost would be like certified mail and such. So I don't know that there's anything on this case. Was there any out-of-pocket costs to the town?
I don't think so. The only thing is if I have to record the lien, then there's going to be the cost of recording the lien.
So that's if the lien is not paid and has to be
If
recorded.
the fine's not paid, then I'm going to record the lien and,
Okay, so
Yeah.
that would be added to it, I guess,
yeah.
the way it reads right now.
Mhm.
Okay, so is there a second?
I second.
You ready to discuss the case? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Anyone opposed?
Aye.
Okay, motion carries. Next case, Ariel, is 230042.
Mhm. Based on the testimony and evidence presented in case number 230042, I move that the board reduce the fine of $1,850 to $1,000 plus administrative costs. If the respondent fails to pay the fine of $1,000 within 30 days of this order, a lien against the respondent's property shall be recorded in the public records of Palm Beach County.
Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Anyone opposed?
Aye.
All right.
Motion carries. Next case. 43.
And based on the testimony and evidence presented in case number 23-0043, I move that this board reduce the fine of $4,300 to $1,000 plus administrative costs if the respondents fail to pay the fine of $1,000 within 30 days of this order. A lien against the respondent's property shall be recorded in public records of Palm Beach County.
Is there a second?
A second.
Any further discussion? All those in favor of the motion say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Anyone opposed?
Aye.
Motion carries. All right, next case, 2344.
Based on the testimony and evidence presented in case number 23-0044, I move that this board reduce the fine of $3,350. It's really tiny font. To $1,000 plus administrative cost if the respondents fail to pay this fine within 60 days of this order. A lien against the respondents shall be recorded in the public records of Palm Beach County.
Did you say 60 days?
Yeah, I added split.
The others were 30 days, weren't they?
Yeah.
Oh, are they?
That's what you said.
Yeah, the other ones were 30. I'm sorry, I thought I heard you say something else.
No. So is this one here?
Yeah, this one, I'm thinking 60 to split up a little bit of time.
Your purpose is to give them more time.
A
to
little
pay.
bit time to pay the balance. That's all it is.
Is there a second?
I second.
Any further discussion? All those in favor of the motion?
Stream of conscious.
All those in favor of the motion say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. And 230045.
Based on the testimony and evidence presented in case number 23-0045, I move that this board reduce the fine of $4,000 to $1,000 plus administrative costs if the respondents fail to pay the fine of $1,000 within 60 days. A lien against the respondent's property shall be recorded in public records of Palm Beach County.
Is there a second?
A second.
Any discussion? All those in favor of the motion say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Anyone opposed?
Aye.
Motion carries. All right. You understand everything we just did? Okay. I guess you can talk to Emily about paying the fines.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
You're just gonna have to come to town hall to pay, or you can call us, and we'll take care of it.
Okay, the next,
So it's the last two cases that you have 4 days to pay.
finished cases, fine impositions.
Right.
So these cases,
Do we want to do any cases where people are present?
Yeah, somebody's here.
okay.
Sorry.
Eric, you want to tell me which cases come up next that
Yeah,
our
so,
property owners are here?
yes, if we can we take the agenda out of order, seeing as we have one property owner?
We do that historically.
Let me just find the page for you real quick. Okay, so we're gonna go to page 5, and it'll be starting with property 1810 Antigua Road. It'll be cases 23-0327 and case 23-0328.
I thought didn't you say that, did I misunderstand you that 0330 was in compliance?
Oh, I'm sorry. Yes. So what's going to be heard is going to be 23-0327 and 23-0328. Because yes, you are correct. 23-03330 is in compliance. That was my fault.
It's okay. All right. Eric, would you like to
Yes, sir. Just give me one moment.
bring us up to date on case 0327?
1 second. All right, good evening. I am Code Enforcement Officer Eric Richwagon with the Town of Lake Clark Shores. This is case number 23-0327, property owner identified by Raymond Bigham, site address 1810 Antigua Road. A notice of violation was issued on 3/29/2023 under section 125-767 subsection B subsection 7. There's an inoperable and or unregistered vehicle on the property. Do you want me to read off the other one as well, or would you like to do one by one, sir?
Just back up on 0327. I have house numbers required.
Oh, yes, correct. Sorry, so 23-0327, section 125-263, subsection 8, house numbers are required. There are house numbers on the door, but they're the same color as the door, so they just need to be changed.
Okay, and when was the property cited originally?
3/29/2023, and the notice of hearing was posted on 6/16/2023, and a reinspection was done today, and the violation still exists. I've spoken to the property owner, and he has no problem just painting them. So I would say it's my recommendation to impose $50 a day fine, but to give them 30 days to come into compliance.
Mr. Bingham? Mr. Bingham? I have a question for you.
Yes, sir.
According to Eric, the original citation was at the end of March. But he indicates that property numbers haven't been changed or corrected as of,
That's correct, but just, they were cited for their driveway, which he fully repaired, and they're also cited for the exterior walls being dirty. So the two main things he did come into compliance with. So all that's left over is the house numbers and the next one that I'll be speaking on about the vehicle.
Were those all four cited on the same day?
Yes, they were.
comments, questions?
The question is, what took so long to paint the numbers? It's been 3 months, hasn't been done
No,
yet.
my understanding, I thought it was just the mailbox. It just says says please add house numbers. So it didn't really specify. I got the door hanger here, so it didn't really specify.
Does it say that house numbers have to be affixed to the house?
It just says please add house numbers. So I didn't know. So I put the address on the mailbox. I mean, the address on the door is when I bought the house in 08. There was the same numbers there as when I bought the house in 08. Now, I admit that they're not the most luminous or, visible. I understand that. I took pictures today. I got another, I guess, a 2x4 or a 4x4 on the ground that has my address on it, and then I put the address on the mailbox. I didn't know it meant that I had to illuminate the number on the door. So if you look right here, it just says, please add house numbers. So.
Hold on, sir. So you said you have a 2x4 or 4x4 that you put on the property that has the address numbers on it now?
Yeah, it's been there for a while. So
I mean, if that has the house numbers on it, that could be sufficient. Do you have photos of that, sir?
Yes, sir. I'm not trying to cast anybody in bad character.
So Eric, he did have house numbers on his house.
He has the house numbers, but because they're the same color as the door, the way the code's written is that it has to be of contrasting colors.
And I agree, it's not the most, I agree, it's not the most luminous or visible numbers. I agree, I do agree with that.
Okay, and you haven't fixed that, Marty.
No, sir, I have not. But I did put the house number on the mailbox out front.
I think that's,
When you did that, did you call Eric and say, hey, put the numbers on to come take a look at it?
I didn't contact anybody because the thing is, it's like I said, it just says, please add house number. That's what the thing said.
Okay.
So I figured that's what he was talking about. It didn't really specify that I had to illuminate or contrast the numbers on the door. Like I said, I'm not trying to cast anybody in bad character.
I hear you.
So
I hear you.
that's,
Eric, can I ask a question?
Yes.
The house numbers on a post elsewhere on the property would suffice as the address?
Yes, because there's at least 2 or 3 other properties inside the town that have done that, and that is adequate.
there again, they're in black. Just, I took pictures of them. They're not the most visible.
are you able to show the pictures?
You have the pictures with?
Yeah, I got them right here. I got them right here.
Let's see them.
Why don't you show us?
Okay, all right.
I guess it can't necessarily be entered into evidence.
No, but he can show us.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay,
That's the.
Yep.
That's the mailbox.
looks good.
That's it.
So that's what I did after.
All right.
Okay.
Where's the 4x4 post?
Hold on.
Oh, it's in there too?
Well, that's what I did on the mailbox.
Okay.
That's what I did on the post. But the post has been there forever.
Where is that post located?
It's right to the, if you're looking at the house, it's right to the right.
And it's not visible in the picture you took, Eric?
This is a picture of when the notice of hearing was posted.
Okay.
Could you pull up the other photos, the ones that were taken
Picture
today?
he's talking about, that's my door.
Yeah.
And I agree, that's,
Yeah.
the door. is-
Okay.
I don't think that's sufficient for first
The
responders.
door is not.
No, but the mailbox is. The mailbox satisfies the requirement.
It's actually for your.
No, I don't think the
your
mailbox
safety.
does.
Yeah, it
It's actually for your safety, so the fire department has to come to your house.
So the
emergency
picture in the screen is taken from the roadway. From the roadway, I mean, I can't see it. And the way it's supposed to be is you're supposed to be able to see it from the roadway.
Right.
But the mailbox satisfies that requirement.
You just-
No, it used to be one or the other. Now it's required to be on the home.
Oh, it would.
Yeah, because
Okay.
if a mailbox gets run over and that's the only spot that you have the house numbers, you know, for health and safety, they want it to be on the property.
Okay. That's,
Okay.
I just didn't understand the citation. The citation just says,
I couldn't find it. Did you find it?
add house number.
No.
So,
I have one more question.
yes, sir.
I would just
When can you fix that
move it.
numbers on the door?
I could fix it tomorrow. Yes, sir. I could, what color would it have to be to satisfy?
Some darker color,
Something in contrast, it could be white, I guess.
blue,
Could it be black? All
black.
Black,
Be black.
black's the most
Black
obvious.
would be good.
right, 10-4, understood.
Any further discussion? Would someone like to make a motion?
Or,
This is case
number
0327.
27. Okay. Based on the testimony and evidence presented in case number 23-0327, I move that this board find the respondent in violation of section 125-263 subsection 8, house numbers required of the town code of ordinances, and respondent shall comply with the town codes of ordinances on or before the July 26th code enforcement board meeting. Or a fine of $50 a day may be imposed.
I'll second that.
I think if Mr. Bingham says he can paint them tonight or tomorrow, maybe we should tighten up on the time.
Motion's been moved and seconded. Do you want to amend the motion?
Yeah, I'd make a motion of within a week, which will be July,
7 days?
7 days.
All right, I can take care of that in 7 days. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Discussion on the amendment? Ready to vote on the amendment? Everyone understand the amendment? All those in favor of the amendment say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed?
Aye.
Motion carried. Okay, now we're on the main motion.
Mhm.
To give Mr. Bingham, as previously stated,
A week.
$50 a day to come into compliance by 7 days. All those in favor of the motion say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries. All right.
Just so I'm understand, I can paint them black and I'll be compliant, correct?
Yep.
Okay.
Once you do paint them, call Eric to have him come check.
Call Eric and let him know so he can check that.
You can
okay?
check it.
Oh, okay, 10-4,
Yeah.
understood.
All
Yeah,
right.
you don't have to be there for Eric
No,
to
10-4,
comply,
understood, 10-4, understood.
because that's your timestamp. So
Got it. 10-4, understood.
Okay, now we're gonna talk about, yes, sir?
Who did the motion, the final motion?
We went back to the original motion
Okay,
As amended.
as amended, and that was
$50.
Ariel.
okay, so it's
And
Ariel.
Who
and-
seconded it?
I did.
Okay,
Gabby seconded it. Okay.
and who seconded the amendment?
I think I did.
I think Deb did.
Okay,
All right, now we're gonna talk about 0328, inoperable unregistered vehicle on Mr. Bingham's property. Eric,
Yes. So I already read that one off. Unfortunately, I read that off as 23-0327, but as soon as I already read it, I've spoken with the property owner. He's actually in the process of selling the vehicle. He just ran into some trouble with the title because he's had the vehicle for so long that the original title company has been sold multiple times. So he had to contact Citibank, who's the new owner of it. He's getting everything worked out. He's going to sell the vehicle. So based on that, I believe, because he is going to come into compliance and he's just trying to sell the vehicle, it would be my recommendation that we give him 60 days to come into compliance and be able to sell the vehicle. If not, a $50 a day fine be assessed.
Mr. Bingham, you don't have a garage you can put the vehicle in?
No, sir, not at this time. So here's what happened.
And you can't have it towed and put somewhere else?
Well, I could have it towed and put wherever, but it wouldn't be beneficial to me. So I was having the vehicle sold, but I couldn't find the title. And when the gentleman showed up, I didn't have the title. So that was the weekend before last weekend.
Mhm.
So when I found the title, the gentleman had moved on from the sale. So I went today to get the vehicle registered in my name. Come to find out, I didn't look at the title as well as I should. There's a second lien holder.
Mm.
So when I go to the tag agency, they said, hey, there's a second lien holder. You need to get a release. I said, okay. So I've been making calls and everything all day long, trying to figure out how I can get this situation rectified. I have an email from Citibank, from the legacy part of that company that bought the company. So they're gonna, I have an email saying I got 15 days for them to rectify that and get the actual lien release. I have the email on my phone, so it wasn't like I was not trying to comply with the citation. It's just that I couldn't find the title. So I was hamstrung no matter what. So, but long story short, I had the title in my hand. You can see the second lien holder. I have a email from Citibank that I have a case number, and it's 15 days for them to find the lien release, so I can either sell the vehicle or register it.
So Eric, this was originally cited on March 29th, is that right?
Yeah, all 4 violations were.
All 4
cited
on the same day.
Like I said,
So my question is, why didn't you, if you were cited for this, why didn't you try to find your title in March?
To be honest, sir, I just couldn't find it. I just couldn't find it.
When did you find out that you didn't have it?
Well, when I found out I couldn't have it, it was when I actually had a buyer for the vehicle.
That was like a week ago.
Right. But I've been, like I said, I've been trying to either one, find a title for the vehicle, or
So
two.
Have you been working since March 29th to try to find the title with this bank, Bank One or Citibank or wherever it is?
Say again, sir?
Have you been working to find the title to get a release since March?
No, I had been looking, no, like I said, like I said, once I had the vehicle up for sale, I thought the title was in a specific place. When I went to go look for it,
Okay.
I couldn't find the title.
So my question is, if you got this citation in March 29th about an unregistered vehicle or whatever, inoperable unregistered vehicle, you didn't look for the title at that point?
Because I
Go
thought
get it registered?
I thought it was in the specific place that I had it.
Okay.
That's all I'm saying, sir. I'm not trying to cast anybody in bad character. I'm not trying to say, hey, I wasn't taking anything as serious. I mean, if you look at the citations, every citation I did I did my due diligence. It was, hey, look, this is a serious matter. I wasn't playing anybody for any type of fool or anything like that. It was just that I took for granted that the title was in a specific place. And like I said, when I went to look for it, it wasn't there.
So you're not planning on fixing the car?
Yes, sir, I am. Yes, sir, I am. I'm just saying, I just want to either get it sold or either get it registered. So I'm just trying to comply with either way.
So there's 2 issues here.
Yes, sir.
You have a car that doesn't work
Yes, sir.
and it's not registered.
Yes, sir.
My question is, when is it going to be registered and when is it going to be operable?
So I guess the best question is I say I need to sell the vehicle. I guess what you're saying.
Or remove it from your property?
10-4, understood.
And what type of time frame do you think this will be?
I guess it needs to be as soon as possible under your guys' guideline.
But you say the lien will be released in 15 days?
That's what the
Email says?
That's what the email says.
Does the email say that they're researching the lien? It sounds like at this moment in time, they don't know if there is a lien.
I can show you the email. You can read it for yourself.
Okay.
You can show us.
Oh, okay. All right. I just wanted to make sure I'm not doing anything out of. I don't know who wants to see it first.
Show me.
I mean, if you guys know what the vehicle there, just say that.
We
Paul,
don't
can you
want
read
an
us?
inoperable, unregistered
Yeah.
car on your property
If it's registered,
because that's the town's ordinance.
Code.
But if it's registered, then what's?
And it still has to work.
It still has, some- yeah.
If you're gonna have it on your property, it has to work and has to be registered.
Can you read
Paul,
that?
can you read us
Want to read
that?
that in
Yes.
the record?
I'm sorry. Email received on June 28th. Your case number is da-da-da-da-da. Please allow 10 days for an auto lien release and 15 days for all other requests for review / completion. If you have any questions, your case is not complete within the allotted amount of time, you may follow up with us at the same email address from your initial email using the case number.
Excellent.
So they say they're going to deal with it, but if they don't, call them.
Mm-hmm.
Basically what it says. So, you know, what I'm saying here is that he's in violation for both these issues. And the logical thing for me is for him to come into compliance with a specific amount of time or he's fined. And coming into compliance, Mr. Bingham, is either removing it from your property or get it working and get it registered within the amount of time we're going to tell you here in just a second. If you'll agree with that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Would someone like to make a motion?
Mr. Bingham, did you understand that? Okay.
Someone like to make a motion,
Understood.
please?
Fine. I'll make a motion.
Okay.
Case number 23-020-0328. Based on the testimony and tests and evidence, I move that this board find the respondents in violation of section 125-767 subsection B subsection 7, inoperable and unregistered vehicle. And of the town code of ordinances, and respondents shall comply with the town code of ordinances on or before the July 26th meeting, code enforcement board meeting. If respondent fails to comply with this order in a timely fashion, a fine of $50 per day may be imposed.
Is there a second?
I'll second that.
Do we need any further discussion? All those in favor of the motion say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries. So basically you have till July 26th to either get it off your property or have it fixed and registered by July 26th. Or you may be fined $50 a day from today,
That would have to be from the,
starting then.
July 26th.
yeah.
July 22nd.
Yeah.
Or a fine may be imposed on July 26th of $50 a day. Okay, Mr. Bingham? You understand? Sir? Okay.
What-
All those in favor, did we vote on it?
We did.
Yes.
We did. Make sure Mr. Bingham knows that.
I think he understands.
Okay.
I think he was not happy. Okay. Eric,
Yeah, we can go back to the original order.
we can?
Yes.
Okay.
So that would be on page 3, case 23-02440.
Excuse me, Eric. Genevieve is here
Yeah, so
regarding her case. I'm not sure if she wanted to say something about it.
we had spoken on the phone. She came into compliance, but she wanted to come in because she just wants to see how the proceeding is. So she's just sitting in as a witness.
Very good. Thank you.
So 230240,
Yes, sir.
okay. Eric?
Oh, this is one of the unfinished ones. I've spoken to the property owners who own 1831 East Court. They did resod on the right side of the property, but on the left back side of the property, there's still ungrassed areas.
Is there a picture?
Yeah, you can pull it up from 1831. They're also being heard for new cases.
The only pictures that you have here are for the work without the permit. It says.
There'll be a picture of the front of the house and on the side. You can scoot to
Does he know?
Tell me when to stop.
right there. So there's some grass back there, but there's still a lot of bare spots, so it's not fully resodded.
Discussion? So you've had more communication with them about not coming into compliance yet?
Yes, and so when we discuss the other cases, you'll see some of the severity of what we'll be discussing. So for this one, they know that like they resodded some spots. They didn't do that. The reason they didn't do that is because they were found to be doing work without a permit. So that whole area back there was being torn up because they were unlawfully removing trees, digging up on the ground. So that's why I still deem them to be in violation.
Okay. So as of the last meeting, we said that if they don't come into compliance, a fine of $200 a day may be imposed. It's obvious that they're still not in compliance. Do we need any further discussion? We don't have to go by the $200 a day. We could reduce that.
You could.
Have they put some grass in there that originally was bare?
So on the front right side of the property, they did resod, and there's some growing on this left side. If you want to keep scrolling back. So right there, as you can see on the right side, that's all new grass. There was no grass there, but it was for the entire property. So the back left side is still left bare.
Well, I'll make a motion, we reduce the fine to $50 a day. I mean, they've done quite a bit of work putting the sod in. I mean, I don't know what your relationship is with them, but they did some part of it.
They installed a fence without a permit, removed the trees without a permit, building a patio without a permit, interior remodel without a permit.
Oh,
Okay, so is there a second to reduce the fine to 100?
Don't we have to have a motion to impose the fine?
Yeah.
So I think you need number 3.
Okay.
Yeah.
let me do that. I'll make, based on the testimony and evidence presented in case number 230240, I move that the response be found failed to comply with the order finding a violation on June, June 28th. Fine in the amount of, I would say $150 a day is imposed commencing on today. Such fine shall accrue at a daily rate until compliance is achieved. In addition, the town's cost of procuring this matter will be assessed.
Just to clarify the way you can look at it, and you can do whatever you want with it, but the compliance date was May 31, so you could impose the fine
As of that date?
as of June 1, I would say.
Okay, that's fine. The violation, June 1, 2023. The fine of $150 a day.
Okay,
I'll second that.
okay, Wes made the motion, Deb seconded it. Further discussion? All those in favor of the motion say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries. All right. Law.
Yeah.
Page 3, case 23-0025, property 8325 Waterway Drive.
Uh-huh.
So I've spoken to the property owner. He informed me that they were hiring an engineer and someone to look at the gazebo. Emily, I believe they came in today and dropped off some more stuff, but their permits hasn't been issued yet, right?
Correct. From what I was told, the documents were dropped off, but they haven't been reviewed yet, and they haven't been submitted to the building official for review.
They have not been submitted to the building official, is that what you said?
Right, yeah, we just received them in the office today. And I don't know if we have all the documents or not. It's gonna have to be reviewed by an employee here.
So when were they first noticed about this, Eric?
So, give me a second. Let me pull the case for you. Okay, so the original notice of violation was issued by Lieutenant Fisher on 1/31/2023.
January 31st?
Yes, sir. And then a notice of hearing was issued on 5/11/2023.
What happened between January 31st and May 11th?
So this was one of the ones that, because I inherited all of Lieutenant Fisher's remaining violations. This one unfortunately just got put in, like mixed in the pile. So whereas it should have been addressed first, it kind of got tucked away. So it was just, it was just kind of slid to the wayside, but it was found.
But nothing happened.
No.
Between the 31st of January and May 11th.
No, and this one was heard last month, and the property owner, everyone made it aware to him. He knew what he was supposed to do, so it is what it is.
And nothing happened from the last meeting until today?
I think from what I've been told, he's been dropping off documents, slowly, so.
Discussion.
I would say that, I remember the meeting. I mean, I would say that we follow what we stated in May 24th, start the $50 fine.
I agree.
You want to make that motion?
Which one would it be?
It would be
Three.
number 3.
Sure, based on the testimony and evidence presented in case number 230025, I move that respondent be found to have failed to comply with the order finding violation dated, what was the date? Would it be 1/31?
No, 5/24.
5/24/2023.
Mhm.
A fine in the amount of $50 a day is imposed commencing on, what would that date be?
Do we do it
Today.
today?
Today,
Mhm. Until they come into compliance.
June
June what's the
28th.
date? 28th,
28.
2023, and such fine shall continue to accrue at the daily rate until compliance is achieved. In addition, the town's cost in prosecuting the matter shall be assessed.
I'll second that.
Further discussion? All those in favor of the motion say aye.
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 Anyone opposed? Motion carries. Okay,
All right.
230533.
Yes, 23-0533 and 0534. But we'll start with, I mean, they're both the,
Yeah, discuss them
The same.
together.
so the property owners called me and they said that everything's been taken care of, but they provided me with no information from the health department. I have no official documentation from the health department saying that they went out there and, certified that everything was okay. So as far as I'm concerned, this is still an, open case. Because this was for the illicit raw sewage that was discharged onto the back property.
Was the property owner made aware that you were not satisfied with her just telling you that it was in compliance?
Yes, I called her back, explained things. I haven't heard from them since.
Would you normally hear from the county health department?
Seeing as they opened the case, in order for us to close our case, like, if the county goes out to the property, which they're supposed to, they should give the property owners some form of documentation saying that everything has been cleared out. So until we receive some kind of paperwork, I mean, I can contact the county and ask them, but it's up to the property owner to set up the appointment and to collect all specific documentation.
Yeah, I would agree. So we have no evidence to show that they're in compliance.
No, just the word of the property owner saying that someone came out, looked at it and said it was okay. So I don't find that to be sufficient.
And she was aware that this would be on the agenda today?
Yes. Yeah, they were present during last month's meeting, and
I
they were made
remember.
full aware of the severity of this.
I'll make a motion.
Go ahead.
Based on the testimony and evidence presented in case numbers 230533 and 230534,
We'll do the first one first and then the second, okay?
25033.
Yep.
I move the respondents be found to have failed to comply in the order, finding a violation dated dated June 28th.
May 24th.
Oh, all right, May 24th.
Mhm.
The fine in the amount of $250 a day be imposed commencing on
May 26th.
May 26th. And such fine shall continue to accrue at the daily rate until compliance is achieved. In addition, the town's costs in prosecuting this matter shall be assessed.
Is there a
Second. I'll second.
Yep, seconded. Do we need any further discussion?
What was the fine amount?
250.
Isn't that supposed to be imposed today? Not
Oh, back to May.
Effective today.
Effective.
supposed to be effective.
They had to become in compliance by May 26th, or the fine was going to, may be
Oh.
imposed.
Right, so,
So I'm saying as of May 26th, let's start fine.
May 26th?
Yeah.
That was 2 or 3 days after the code hearing,
Oh, that's right.
Oh,
That's right.
That's
Yeah.
right.
and they didn't come into compliance, so the fine should start that day.
That's right.
That's
Any
right.
further discussion? All those in favor of the motion say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carried. Okay,
Let me do the next one too.
0534.
Based on testimony and evidence presented in case number 230534, I move that response be found to have failed to comply with the order finding a violation dated May
24th.
24th, and a fine in the amount of $250 a day be imposed commencing on May 26th. And such fine shall continue to accrue at the daily rate until compliance is achieved. In addition, the town's costs on prosecuting this matter shall be assessed.
Second.
Further discussion? All those in favor of the motion say aye.
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 Anyone opposed? Motion carries. Okay. 0205, Marcelo Stefano.
I haven't heard anything from the property owners. The property still looks the exact same as it did last month. They complied with the outdoor materials, but they still haven't done anything with the bare deteriorated spots on the lawn. So,
So no communication with the property owner.
and I had communication with him before, and communication just stopped. I don't know if he's out of town or what the deal is, but I've had no communication since even before the previous code board last month.
And you were by there today?
Do we have evidence that they received the order?
Well, it was posted to the property.
The board order finding them in non-compliance and possibly imposing a fee,
Mhm.
fine is
Yeah,
posted?
Yeah,
Okay.
the notice of violation, notice of hearing, and the order is also physically posted to the address.
And you have, sorry, I thought you were done. Sorry.
That's fine. I know it was collected because the same day that I posted it, when I drove by again, it was removed from the door. And I make sure to secure it well to the door.
Is this the one that did it have other violations with it?
Yeah, and he came into compliance. There was prohibited outdoor storage that they had removed. So out of the 2 violations, 1 came into compliance. This one still remained, and as of today, it still remains.
And did you take photos today by chance or no?
This one I couldn't because there was vehicles. FPNL was doing cutting, so I wasn't able to, unless I had physically stepped foot on the property, which I can't do. I was unable to get it. I can provide photos for you tomorrow in the morning if need be. I just wasn't able to get it for you due to the FPL vehicles.
And
This
does-
is the one you live near,
Yeah, it's a couple blocks, but I
under
haven't.
construction.
Yeah, it's been under construction. I just want, that was my follow-up.
Yeah.
Does it look like it's still under construction, like they're still doing work?
It looks the exact same from last month.
I think
Okay.
at the last meeting too, we wanted to see if there was open permits on it.
Yeah, I'd have to get back to you because I know there was some stuff that Laura had found, but it wasn't specified for everything because there appears to be a lot going on there. So we'd have to go through, exactly everything that was submitted.
So the property, as far as this is concerned, is still not in compliance.
Unfortunately, yeah.
Someone like to make a motion?
I'll make a motion based on the testimony evidence presented in case number 230205. I move that the response be found to have failed to comply with the order, finding a violation dated May 20. When was the first violation posted on this one?
6:30.
So the violations were posted on 3/8/2023.
Finding a violation dated, I guess it's May 24th, 2023. The fine, the amount of $100 a day be imposed commencing today, June 28th, 2023. Such fine shall continue to accrue that daily rate until compliance is achieved. In addition, the town's costs of prosecuting this matter shall be assessed.
Second.
Seconds. Any further discussion? All those in favor of the motion, say aye.
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 Anyone opposed?
Aye.
Okay, motion carries. Okay, I think that's all the unfinished cases.
Yes, correct.
All right, so we'll go to new cases.
All right. New cases, property identified by 1831 East Court, case 23-0637. I am Code Enforcement Officer Eric Richwagon with the Town of Lake Clark Shores. The following violation was issued. 1 second. Notice of violation was issued on 6/1/2023, section 10-91, subsection A. Covered patio was being installed without a permit. A notice of hearing was issued on 6/16/2023. The property was checked on as of today. There have been permits upheld, but they have not been finalized yet. All that's remaining for the patio is just a final inspection. So it is my recommendation to give them 15 days to come into compliance. If not, a $250 a day fine be assessed. I also have Manny with me today just to kind of fill you in a little bit about this property and what's been going on. So let me turn it over to Manny.
Could you introduce yourself, sir?
Yes, Manny Palacio, zoning officer with the building department for the town of Lake Clark Shores. I did go out and posted day stop work notice when I was notified that there was work being done. At that time, all I did was just post the stop work order. I don't have the date on my first time that I posted it, but there was somebody doing work there, and our clerk had informed me that there was no permits at all for the property. A week later, or I should say a few days later, on May 31st, I was notified again that they're still working on the property. I went back and posted the second notice, And there was a worker there, which I informed him that he's got to stop work, put his equipment away and leave the premises.
Mhm.
We walked a little bit around the property, but not a thorough inspection of the complete property. But we did find that the driveway had been done, work around the patio, so it looked like some structural work had been done to the patio, fencing was installed, and some trees were installed as well, which all of this requires permits. We then decided that I needed to go back and do a complete inspection of the complete property. Eric accompanied me along with a policeman. And that's when we did the complete walk around the whole property. And we found all of these items that I had previously found. In the interior, we weren't allowed to go inside. So that was one of the things that we discussed with the owner over the phone. And he at that time then said he would set up a date and time for the building official to come in and do a complete walkthrough to see what was done inside. The building official was unable to go. I went in his place. I did a walkthrough through the interior, found that there was substantial improvements done, cabinets, countertops. Although there was no electric or plumbing work done, no lines were moved, no electrical had been done. It was all more cosmetic. Nonetheless, permits were required. I took photographs and informed him that nothing can be done until the permits are taken. And at that time, then I informed him that he would have to get a licensed contractor, come in to pull the permits. To date, there's been about 5 or 6 permits that have been pulled and 7 permits that have been pulled addressing the violations that were cited, and permits have been approved and issued. They're here at Town Hall waiting for the property owner to come in and or the contractor who is the qualifier for the permit to come in and pick them up, which basically then he would just have to call in for a final, and that's it, because the work's been done already. Although on that same note, though, I think I do remember the fencing was put in backwards. He put the good side in, which I informed him it's got going down, so I don't know what the status is yet on that, but the permit for the fencing was pulled.
He just won't be able to pass a final inspection on it.
Right,
He's installed it backwards.
right.
So did you tell him to cease and desist because he didn't have any permits and he continued to work?
Yes, I posted it, then I was called by Eric that they're still working there. And when we arrived there, the stop work order was gone, so I posted a second one. And then the worker that was there informed him what needed to be done. And
What manner do you tell them cease and desist? Is it a written cease and desist, or you say, hey, Billy, you can't be doing that?
no, there's a red placard that says stop work. And I
Okay.
put the address and what kind of permits you need.
And
And
you-
then I also informed the worker at that point there.
Did you put that on the house?
Yes, I have, I think we have photographs. And then, Eric, do you have photographs? 'Cause I know I have a photograph of my second posting on the house. I don't have the first one.
So when the second stop work order was issued, again, a police officer came out, Corporal Dominguez spoke with the property owner. We also set up a in-person meeting so the property owner could have a sit-down meeting with me, Manning. We fully discussed everything that they needed to do. They have pulled the permits and they are looking to come into compliance, but it took a little bit to get them to get to this point. So that's just why I wanted to, paint the picture for you, just so you know that this wasn't just as simple as someone who started work without a permit. It was a multitude of things that were found.
Is it in this board's purview related to not stopping work when they're.
That would be, I think that would be a separate violation, I think, that is not cited. That failure to obey a stop work order would probably be because stop work order is a building code provision, right?
The Florida statute.
Yeah, Florida Building Code. So that's not cited, so that wouldn't be something you could fine them for or order them to do. But certainly they've been working without permits.
Right.
So how would the building department go about presenting cease and desist and have it come under where they could be fined for not stopping work?
Well, if.
Or where does that
if
go?
I may, once a stop work order has been posted and the workers have been told to stop and so forth, and they do it at that time. And later on, it's found out that they're still working there. The practice has been, you go there with a policeman and then they will kick them out and then make that as part of the file that they still continue to work. So when it does come to the code enforcement aspect, the property owner would be held liable for this.
Was that where we are now? Didn't you go out there with the police officer?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and they were informed that if they were found to do work again while the second stop work order was issued, that it could constitute a felony. So they have halted all work since then, but it took a second, cease and desist from Manny for them to officially stop the work.
So did you just say that's a potential criminal offense?
That's right.
Yes, it is because they're breaking the law now. It's, the law is you need a permit. You're told you're breaking the law, stop working. Now you continue to do it. Now you call the police and, yeah, you can be arrested.
So where does that fit in with us? Have we
I
any
don't think it
authority
does.
at this point to?
I think you can consider it on how much time you would give them to get the permit. I mean, they have been uncooperative, so to speak. So I
Well, the
think
permits have been issued and approved. So the permits are sitting here at Town Hall. They're ready to be picked up by the contractor or the qualifier of the permits.
But they just haven't been picked up.
Yeah, I just dropped some off yesterday and Monday.
So they were just recently issued in the last day or two.
Right.
Okay.
Including these two cases before us tonight, the patio and the.
Yeah, I can read it off for you. So the stucco patio permit was issued on 6/14/2023. The permit for the fencing, the fence that was installed was on 6/15/2023. Patio pavers, 6/15/2023. Slab for the patio, 6/15/2023. The driveway, 6/15/2023. The landscaping, 6/15/2023. And for the interior, for the cabinetry and the, what was the other one? The countertops
Yeah.
was issued on 6/27/2023.
So they have all the permits they need at this point. Whether they picked them up or not, they have been issued. Is that correct?
Yes.
Manny, I have one question. When you replace cabinetry and countertops in a kitchen, aren't you required to bring the electric up to code?
Well, no, not necessarily. What's required is, it's twofold. What's required is when you change, you pull something out, you're not necessarily required if it's residential. That has to be inspected. Now, you're 90% of the time when a contractor does that and he sees that it does, they'll get an electrician to come in and pull the permit to do so. But no, it's not necessarily true unless it's a life safety issue.
Okay, thank you.
So since the permits have been pulled,
I don't see what we can do here.
don't know what our options are.
Well, it still needs to be inspected,
Inspected, right.
and it could be done wrong, which
Oh,
it would take
that's
longer.
So that's why I'm recommending, because the permits have already been pulled and they're just awaiting the final inspections. That's why I'm recommending to give them 15 days to come into full compliance. If not, a $250 a day fine be assessed.
further discussion? Would someone like to make a motion? In case 0637,
I'll make a motion. Based on testimony evidence presented in case number 230637, I move that respondents have failed to comply with the order, finding a violation.
I
No,
think
we
you have the
haven't
wrong
had an
one.
order yet,
Oh,
so we need a 1.
we need a 1? All right, that's longer. Based on testimony evidence presented in case number 230637, I move this board finds the respondents in violation of sections 10-91 sub A of the town code of ordinances. Respondents shall comply with the town's ordinance on or before 15 days.
12?
July 12th, yep, July 12th, 2023. The respondents fail to comply with this order in a timely fashion, fine the amount of fine not to exceed $250 per day may be imposed. Command, a fine assessment hearing will be held on July 26th, 2023, if necessary.
I'll second that.
all those in favor of the motion say aye.
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 Anyone opposed? Motion carries. 0641,
All right, case 23-0641, property 1831 East Court, property owners identified by Florida House Investments LLC. This is a continuation of the patio. So a notice of violation was issued on 6/1/2023, section 10-91A. Interior remodels, structural without a permit. That would be the cabinetries, that would be the kitchen countertops, and that would also be the patio area where they were also laying down new concrete. So a notice of hearing was issued on 6/16/2023. As of today, the violation still exists. However, the permits have been pulled. They're just awaiting a final inspection. It is my recommendation to give them 15 days to come into compliance. If not, a $250 fine be assessed.
we need any further discussion? Would someone like to make a motion?
I'll make a motion. Based on the testimony and evidence presented in case number 23-0641, I move that this board find the respondent in violation of sections 10-91A of the Town Code of Ordinances. Respondent shall comply with the town's Code of Ordinances on or before July 12th, 2023. If respondents fail to comply with this order in a timely fashion, a fine in the amount not to exceed $250 per day may be imposed. A fine assessment hearing will be held on July 26th, 2023.
Is there a second?
Second.
Further discussion? All those in favor of the motion say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries. 230294,
Yes.
Guardian Forest Hill.
Case 23-0294, property identified by 1755 Forest Hill Boulevard. Property owners are identified by Guardian Forest Hill LLC. A notice of violation was issued on 3/17/2023, code section 34-19, subsection 9, subsection B. The entire parking lot needs to be re-blacktopped. A notice of hearing was issued on 6/16/2023, and just a little backstory for this. When this property was originally cited on 3/17/2023, they were under Edna Prush-Roski LLC. The new owners are Guardian Forest Hill LLC. They were not made aware of the violation until a month ago. Since then, the new property owner has contacted me, has been up to date with the building department, has given me a full walkthrough of the property. They were also cited for abandoned vehicles and open vehicles. All of those have been removed, which greatly helps out the police department. They are in the process of pulling all the permits. I've discussed this with Manny. So my recommendation, because of the scope of this, is to give them 120 days to come into compliance. because the entire rental property parking lot has to be redone. So that's my recommendation. If not, a fine of $100 per day be assessed. And if you want any testimonial from Manny.
Yeah, okay.
So-
Sorry,
Can
you
scroll through
confirmed
those?
that it's one owner, right, for all that
Oh, yes.
property?
Yeah,
Oh,
so
okay.
Guardian Forest Hill LLC bought
Okay.
the,
I was under the impression that there were condos, so,
no, those are rental properties.
yeah, I understand.
They're-
I've seen them individually for sale listed, so I just assumed.
Yeah, so the,
Okay,
I know what you're talking about, but yeah, the overall property is owned by one company.
okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Further discussion?
You've seen them individually for sale. Does that mean it's a co-op? I know that's just a form of ownership, but
When you look it up on Palm Beach County Property Appraisers, Guardian Forest Hill LLC, the property line goes around the entire property.
Interesting. Yeah, I mean, this was many years ago, but, I mean, doesn't matter.
Would someone like to make a motion?
I'll make the motion. And based on the testimony and evidence presented in case number 230294, I move that the board find the respondents in violation of section 34-19 9B of the town code of ordinances. And respondents shall comply with the town code of ordinances on or before the August 23rd. I'm sorry, how many days did you recommend?
You recommend
120.
Yeah.
September.
Yeah, because of the scope of
Oh, okay,
120.
120, sorry.
If I just may add,
September 20.
that's,
Yeah.
if I just may add, the 120 is more than reasonable in the sense it's because of being commercial. Bringing equipment in there and then doing a study as to what's underneath when they dig up and stuff like that. So the 120 days is not long time for them to get this thing done.
So that would actually be October.
Well.
September 26th.
they can't just simply resurface that.
That's 90.
Oh, yeah,
Well,
yeah.
you could, but you may end up with the same problem sooner than later. The thing is what they want to do is they want to do it completely right. Find out if they need to, not all of it's going to be removed, but quite a bit of it will be removed because some of that parking area is not conducive to being sealed because it'll end up cracking right back again. So they're going to do a study, not a study, but look at, the contractor's going to take a look at it and then at that point decide, how much is going to be taken up and how much can be patched and resealed.
Okay, makes sense.
So you think
September.
4 months.
that would be actually 120 to October.
My concern is they could not do anything, not get a contractor, not start and do anything until October before it comes back here.
They're already pulling the permits out. They've already spoken to Laura. They've been in constant email communication, so they're doing it.
Showing good faith.
Yeah, they're in the process of everything. It's just it's a lot of property to re-blacktop. The new property owners are coming in. They're from what I can tell by them, they're coming in with a whole new attitude. And it seems like this is what we want for the town, because everything that I saw that was wrong is what the property owner saw that was wrong. So I believe 120 days, is fair for the scope of the work.
Okay. So I'll continue reading then.
Excuse me, if I may.
Yeah.
We can, if the board so wants, stay in contact with the property owner as they're doing work. So we're not waiting till October. Where you at? Maybe on a monthly basis, where, how things are progressing. So it shows that what's being done at that point. So we're not left in the dark and wait till the last minute.
I like that idea.
Okay. I'll I'll mix that in. Okay, so on or before the October 25th, 2003 meeting, if the respondents fail to comply with this order in a timely fashion, a fine in the amount of $100 a day may be imposed, and a fine assessment hearing will be held on October 25th, 2003, if necessary. And we ask that the respondents maintain contact with the code enforcement officer as part of this order.
Second.
Second? Wes?
Yep.
Seconded. Further discussion? All those in favor of the motion say aye.
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 Anyone opposed? Motion carries. Okay. Case 230201, 1410 Beta Court.
Yes, sir. Case 23-02001, property identified by 1410 Beta Court North, property owner identified by Janet Lee Alisi. On 3/7/2023, a notice of violation was issued for the property, section 34-19, subsection 9, subsection B. The driveway was dirty and needed to be cleaned. Notice of hearing was issued on 6/16/2023. And when a reinspection was done today, the the driveway is found to still be dirty. It's my recommendation to give them 30 days to come into compliance, if not a $50 per day fine be imposed.
Eric, any communication with the property owner?
Yeah, I spoke with the property owner. She's a very nice lady. She's renting the house. The renters told her that they pressure washed it, which they did clean most of the driveway, but as you can see in this photo on the bottom right corner, there's still a, larger than smaller size that's still dirty.
Is this picture from today?
Yes, it is.
Do you have a picture from when you cited it?
We'd have to go back to the actual NOV, which is in my computer, but that spot looks the exact same. It's just as dark.
And when did you cite these people?
This was cited on 3/7/2023.
March 7th?
Yes.
Okay. I'm ready to make a motion.
Okay.
Based on the testimony and evidence presented in case number 23-0201, I move that the board find the respondents in violation of sections 34-19 9B of the town's code of ordinances. Respondents shall comply with the town of code ordinances on or before July 26, 2023. If the respondents fail to comply with this order, a fine in the amount of $25 a day may be imposed, and a fine assessment hearing will be held on July 26, 2023.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
I'd like to amend the motion to $50 a day. This has been since March.
It is our first time here, man, so just go ahead and make a motion, or
I'd like to amend it to $50 a day.
Okay.
I'll second that.
All right, so the motion's been moved and seconded to amend the main motion to $25 a day may be imposed to $50 a day may be imposed.
Right.
All those in favor of the motion to amend, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Anyone opposed?
aye.
Okay, motion carries. We're now on the main motion. Come into compliance by July 26th, or a fine of $50 a day may be imposed. Any further discussion?
Just really quick, I don't want to like take too much time. Is this something that, it seems like there's a lot of driveway issues here. Is a dirty driveway even considered like part of in the code as
Yes.
under violation? Okay.
Yeah, so under the section, driveways have to be in a smooth, well-graded condition, free of of discoloration.
Okay, thank you.
We ready to vote? All those in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
All right.
Aye. Anyone opposed?
Aye.
Okay, motion carries. Next case, 0293,
Yes, sir.
7002 Hayden Road.
Yes, correct. Case number 23-0293, property 7002 Hayden Road, property owner identified by Anand S. Davy. On 3/17/2023, notice of violation was issued, section 34-19, subsection 9, subsection B. The entire parking lot needs to be re-blacktopped. A notice of hearing was issued on 6/16/2023, and as of today, the violation still exists. I spoke with a property owner who happened to be on site. He received the notice of violation, but didn't receive the notice of hearing. Nothing was sent back to me. However, I spoke to him, and the same thing that we were discussing for 1755, I believe 120 20 days should be given to fully re-blacktop and reseal, and also restripe for this property. If not, $100 per day fine be assessed. And after speaking with the property owner, he agreed to that, and he's even going to call me tomorrow to see what the board's decision was. And they're going to be contacting the building department as well tomorrow.
But they couldn't be here today.
No, because he's a property owner. There's many rentals. They were having some plumbing issues, so he had to be on site this evening to oversee the repairs of some of the plumbing issues. I believe there were several toilets that were having issues, but I spoke with him directly, and he's going to contact me tomorrow to understand what has to be done. He's also going to be coming in tomorrow to pick up the orders and go directly to the building department.
And what was your recommendation on days, on timing?
120?
Because this
120?
is,
Okay.
yeah, because it's same or a similar size, parking lot, because it's quite deteriorated. So I'm recommending 120 to get everything done.
Further discussion? Someone like to make a motion?
Sure. Based on the testimony and evidence presented in the case 23-0293, I move that this board find the respondents in violations of section 34-19-9 subsection B of the town code of ordinances. Respondents shall comply with the town code of ordinances on or before October 25th, 2023, or a fine of $100 a day may be imposed. A fine assessment hearing will be held on October 25th, 2023 if necessary. And we ask that the property owners maintain contact with the code enforcement officer as part of this order.
Second.
Wes, second. Further discussion? All those in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
All right.
Aye.
Anyone, okay, anyone opposed? Motion carries. Next item is 230333, 1819 Antigua Road.
Yes, correct. And
I was by this property today and observed the condition of the driveway.
yes. So case 23-0333, property 1819 Antigua Road. Property owners identified by the estate of Mary A. Webb. A notice of violation was issued on 3/29/2023 for section 34-19 subsection 9 subsection B. Driveway has cracks and holes and needs to be repaired. A notice of hearing was issued on 6/16/2023. Reinspection was done today, finding that the violation still exists. And just so the board knows, since the violation has been issued, the property owners have not reached out to me at all. I know that house is vacant, but it's still maintained, and I've heard nothing from them. So it's my recommendation, because the driveway is quite deteriorated, but because it has been ongoing, recommendation of 30 days to come into compliance. If not, a fine of $50 per day be assessed.
Eric, how do you know you've made contact with the trustee of the trust or whoever is responsible for the property? It says
So
it's under
the-
the estate of.
Yeah, so when the mail gets sent out, so the violation still gets posted to the physical property, but the mail gets sent out to what's on Palm Beach County Property Appraisers, which is a separate address.
Oh,
So the people who are in control of the property, I mailed it to them. So again, it's been mailed to them. I've had no contact, so I just have to take it from here.
This property's been before us on many occasions. And they always come into compliance eventually.
Yeah. Okay.
And what was
Wait.
your recommendation?
My recommendation is 30 days to come into compliance. If not, a $50 per day fine be assessed.
Someone like to make a motion? Ask Kay.
Last call.
I'll make a motion.
Yeah.
Based on the testimony and evidence presented in case number 23-0333, I move that this board find the respondent in violation of section 34-199B of the Town Code of Ordinances. Respondent shall comply with the town codes. Town Code of Ordinances on or before July 26th, 2023. If respondents fail to comply with this order in a timely fashion, a fine in the amount not to exceed $100 per day may be imposed. A fine assessment hearing will be held on July 26, 2023, if necessary.
Second.
Ariel seconds. Further discussion? All those in favor of the motion say aye.
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 Anyone opposed? Motion carries. Okay. Any comments?
I have a
Lose a
couple of
member?
questions. I hate to drag everybody out a little bit, but a couple of questions. There's a house that's for sale here in Lake Clark Shores, has been cited for some problems. It's not in a person's name, it's under a corporate name. If that house is sold, like soon, what happens to those code violations?
I believe you're referencing 1812 Barbados Road.
You said it, I didn't.
So 1812 Barbados Road has been cited because I haven't been able to go inside, but because Laura from the building department, saw the pictures up on Zillow or Realtor, whichever website, violations have been issued. Manny also issued a stop work order. So the violations are in the system. So because it's in the system, when someone does a lien search or violation search, it shows up. And because the stop work order was issued, I believe when they were showing the home, that stop work order was also there.
And also in answering your question, what happens to the violations? The violations stay with the property until they get corrected. So if the new owner comes in, that's what he gets. Now, if he didn't know anything about them violations, well, it becomes a civil matter between him and the people that he bought the property from.
Okay,
But the
Yeah.
violations stay.
Usually it'll come up in title search.
okay.
Right.
Well, they usually check with the town. Is there any violations or
And
open permits and that sort of stuff?
A bank won't close on it if there's an open permit, but if they pay cash, then they accrue that,
They take it,
they
goes
take
with
it.
it.
They
Yep.
take it with them.
Yep.
And they should know that.
Just to go a step further, a list of all the homes that are being sold in the town's already been compiled, and they're actively being watched to see. So there's actually been one that was recently sold, and the new owners have been violated for doing work without permits.
On that one, I don't want to say the address, but on that one,
Well, it's all public information. So
Okay.
I can state the address if you'd like.
did you cite the existing owner or the previous owner?
For 7026 Pine Tree Lane,
Correct.
the new owners have been cited because
The site is the same day the house sold. That's what happened.
Well,
June 23rd, it was under the previous owner's name, and
okay.
then you changed them on.
I can look on the violation, but whatever the current information on Papa was,
Yep.
that's what we go off of.
Okay.
That might
Yeah.
slip through the title code if it's like right at the day of closing.
Although,
I was looking here as well. There's a provision in the state statute that if property cited, that's the owner is required to provide notice to the purchaser.
And then it's a civil matter if they don't.
Yes.
But we would still have a case.
Yeah.
Moving forward.
Well, you'd have to cite the new owner probably if they didn't have any knowledge, but you could
Right.
proceed with it certainly.
Okay.
Yeah, I just found it here. They're required to disclose and notify the code enforcement. People probably don't do this. But anyway, they're required to disclose it there and then notify the town code enforcement officer.
Emily, can you tell us where we were with the trailer ordinance? I'm not up to date.
So it was adopted at the end of May. And right now there's a grace period. I think it's 90 days. And so we're gonna create some educational material and we'll post it probably on the website, social media. We will also deliver the material to addresses in town that have boats, trailers, commercial vehicles, so they're aware of the new ordinance.
So anyone that owns a trailer, recreational vehicle. will-
Yeah, as
will
far
get
as we
some
can see from the
communication?
street. Yeah. Yeah, we're working on it.
yeah, I know we're going to have a meeting. Lieutenant Fisher talked to me earlier today, and I believe we're setting up a meeting sometime next week to sit down with Joe, and we're going to go over the new ordinance. That way I have a full understanding of all the changes. And yeah, once it goes into effect, well, before it goes into effect, we're improvising a way to inform the town citizens of what the new ordinance is.
So there's no effective date?
No, there is. It's
90 days.
once it was adopted, it's 90 days after that. Oh, do you know
I think
the?
it's September.
Yeah, I haven't done the math.
I think it's
And
September.
And when will warnings be? Good.
So we're going to be discussing that next week. There's a couple things that, we're discussing, ways that I might be able to, spread the word. So probably during the next meeting, I'll be able to answer that better for you.
Can we put that on or somehow make sure we discuss that at the next meeting?
Sure, I can add it as an item to the board comments.
Hey, could you please send that to me, the ordinance?
It's on the website.
Oh, it's actually on the website.
Yeah, you can look at it on the
Separate.
website. If you go under the town clerk department and then you go under code of ordinance, it's listed right on our website and you can just click on the link and it's there.
Okay.
I have a question on that. It says that the boat must be whatever it is. Does that include the tongue of the trailer? I mean, somebody can say, my boat is behind the front of the house, but
Mhm.
the tongue of the trailer is 6 feet in front of the house.
Yeah, I would think the trailer is included.
Yeah, the trailer.
Yes.
I would think so too, but just saying,
Mhm.
just saying, that's all.
I don't have anything
Don't
else.
spoil, I haven't read the ordinance yet. They'll spoil it for me. I'm gonna rush home to read it.
Does anyone have anything else? Is there a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Yeah.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 Thank you.